All right. So it is day 23. It's day 23, and the holiday season's in full effect. So lots and lots of stressed out people that I see every day, and I'm doing pretty well with managing, the stress. It's just for a company. If you're a small business, it's mainly just like, you know, sales and just people who are coming in, coming out. They want to buy gift certificates. They want to know what's going on for the holidays, that type of stuff. But definitely a lot of stressed out people. So in that time, sleep, train, make sure you eat properly. It really does help. You don't have to put on 8 pounds during the holiday season because of all the drinking and eating. You really can focus on not doing that. And of course, like I said, it's in the middle of a pandemic, so stressors are already extremely high. So it is day 25. So it is day 25 of the 80-20 rule. It is also Christmas Eve, and I'm here early in the morning to get my own training in before I have clients kind of come to this realization this morning. I have about, I think, like 6 clients this morning, so it'll be, kind of a quick day. But I was thinking back that I've been doing this for almost 8 years on Christmas Eve, and I've always had people on Christmas Eve, and I've always had people on Thanksgiving. I've always had people on New Year's Eve. I've always had people even on New Year's Day. So I was thinking about how this 80-20 rule has affected me, and maybe to be a little bit more honest, when it comes to eating, sleeping, and training, it is very much a marathon for me. It is very much 80-20 to keep your mind balanced. And I've realized that I have helped people find a better balance with health and wellness almost my entire career. And that's been very helpful, and it's very good, but I feel like I haven't been 100% honest. Yes, the 80-20 rule is something that I do apply to my everyday life, but I'd be lying to you to say that my work and my work ethic has always been 100%. It's never been 80%. It's never been 90. It's never really fallen below. And I know that sounds like something that's a good thing, but I'm willing to say this now. It's not for everybody to do that. And I've noticed that with trainers over the past, all these years. I've noticed it with people all these past, years. I've noticed it with, everything that I don't think I have the luxury or have had any luxuries to make my work ethic fall below 100%. I have worked holidays. I have helped people, after hours. I have gone I've gone out to lunch and dinner dates with people to try to, get them to do, or maybe help them out more of in a mental sense. And I know that's not part of my job description, but it's just something that I couldn't let fall by the wayside, or I couldn't not do. And I think when you're being pulled by something and I'm not being pushed in any way, it's more about the pull. Like I seem to be like drawn to it. But so make no mistake, I do practice the 80-20 rule as far as with sleeping, training, and nutrition. But I would be lying to you to say that I do not subscribe to that with my work or my work ethic or the things that I do. And it was brought to my attention this morning, and just kind of, while I was driving here, just really started to think about it. And this will be kind of hard for some of you, But some of us don't have that luxury. Some of us don't have that luxury to give it a little break or stop or pull back a little bit. Some of us just can't. But in my case, I also can't and won't, because I don't want to get myself into that comfort zone of saying, hey, it's okay to do this. Hey, it's okay to not, come in a little bit earlier. It's okay not to help this person out a little bit later. I'm okay with that. Some people aren't, and that's okay. That's their journey. This is mine. So make no mistake, it's an 80-20 rule for all these other things, but it's not for my work ethic, what I'm trying to build, what I'm trying to do. It's Christmas Eve, and I've had clients every Christmas Eve for the past almost 8 years, and I've had clients every Thanksgiving. I've had clients every Thanksgiving morning. I've even trained clients on Christmas. It was like 5-6 years ago I did that. So as far as with the 80-20 rule applying to training, nutrition, and sleep, yes, I practice that. But my work ethic is always 100%. And it sounds like a gloat, or it sounds like I'm boasting or bragging or whatever. You could take it however you want. It's just the truth. And I'm not doing it for any other reason than some of us aren't given the luxury to stop. Some of us can't stop. Some of us don't want to. Some of us have always built this peak that we need to constantly hit and go. And the reason why some of those people are doing better than those people who aren't doing those, it's just the simple fact is they're more resilient, they're more consistent, and they're going to work harder than you. And I see that now with the people that we're attracting with like the podcast, these other companies that I've talked with, and these other essentially hustlers that I've been talking to lately. And it's been, just a real eye-opener, because you're able to see and meet people that are more like you. And there's some people that can just, they can lay back and they can, do those things. But keep in mind, there's some of us that cannot do that. And there's some of us that won't do that. There's some of us that remember what it was like to be cold, remember what it's like to suffer, remember what it's like to be completely broke, remember what it's like to be humiliated or bullied or, just not in a good headspace, or maybe it was their past or whatever. So some of us will not go back there, and some of us will not, or will never make this exception or stop. So, for that and for those people, I applaud you, and I tell you to keep going, keep hustling, keep doing what you're doing, because at the end of the day, when all those people are sitting there saying they wish they would have gotten this, or they should get here, or they could, you're the ones, or we're the ones that are just sitting there going, well, you could have woken up an hour early, you could have went home an hour late, you could have helped that person, you could have gone out and done the extra mile or gone the extra mile. And I think that's a hard message to say in the middle of a pandemic, but I'm willing to say it, because I see so many people that are really pulling and getting pushed and growing during the hardest time, or at least the hardest time right now. But for some of us, this is just practice. And I know that sounds awful, but it's true. I was asked yesterday or 2 days ago, but one of my family members, what motivates you? What drives you? How do you have so much energy? Why are you the way that you are? And it was for me remembering what it was like to be broke, remember what it's like to be homeless, remember what it's like to not be around my family, remember what it's like to, be bullied, remember what it's like to be crazy and chaotic. That's what motivates me. That's what keeps me, that's why I have so much energy. And that's how, and I think it comes out as like never being able to stop. And obviously I come home and I crash just like everybody else. But then, yes, the next day my batteries are recharged, and it's like the Energizer Bunny. That's actually the picture that she sent. So make no mistake, I mean, for some of us, we're driven by our past, and I'm very much driven by my past. And, to all you people who are really trying to push themselves and really trying to help themselves, regardless that this video, this thing is called 80-20, and it's a balance and consistency. Remember, some of our work ethics will always be 100, and that's just part of our balance. That's just part of our consistency. Day 25 of the 80-20 rule. It has been absolutely insane here the past couple of days. I have a client coming in right now. She's extremely strong, so I'm actually going to try to grab some footage of her exercising, training with me, just because it would just be, really great to do. I did this with Damien on the previous video, and everybody really enjoyed kind of seeing that it is just a one-on-one environment, that it is just, you, maybe one or two other people max. And I know right now that's also huge for people not to be around crowds. So, speak of the devil, she's here. So, all right, good stuff, good things. Day 25. Excellent. Good.
Didn't hit my knee.
Yeah. So with doing that, the reason why we do that type of compound set seems to work really well, pumping up the low back, the glutes, and the hamstrings. She hates it. I hate it, but it does work. So if you have access to reverse hypers, super awesome machine. This and with those, can't miss. So try it out, do it, or don't. That's okay. It's okay too. So we are ending our 30 days of consistency, this 80-20 rule. So I want to reflect back on this month. So this month wasn't the easiest month to do it. It was in the month of December. So doing it all through the holiday season was really important for me. I wanted to do a couple of months beforehand, so I just figured that I would take on the hardest month, which was December. Obviously, because you have friends, you have family, you have things going on. It was going to present real problems. It was going to present real problems with real solutions. It was going to be extremely tough. And not tough in the sense of like doing something that nobody could do, but it was going to be showing that during the toughest time of the year, where you're being pulled in every which way, when you're thinking about other people, especially during the middle of a pandemic, how you are going to navigate like an adult through people with real problems, real life, and how I've been practicing this type of practice or this type of daily disciplines throughout my life, and that it's helped me tremendously. So day 30 presented a real problem for me, and I debated whether to talk about it or not, but somebody who, suffers from, depression and suffers really tough as far as mentally, I would say because of this 80-20 rule, because of the disciplines that I've put out for myself, I now know at age 32, something I didn't know when I was 22, that it'll pass. That just because this feeling of being empty, this feeling of being not good enough, or not being able to feel anything really. Today just so happened to be day 30, and I just so happened to have kind of a really hard, depressive episode. And I have to tell you that because of the things that I know and the things that I've done and practiced over these past 10 years, it's helped me be able to know that this will pass, and this will just, and then I can get back to being my normal self. So for those of you who have followed these past 30 days, you guys can now better understand why I've set out those rules and why I've set out those things that you need to do in order to keep yourself accountable. As far as with the workout and the training and making sure 3 to 4 days a week, you're at least getting after it. You're at least challenging your body physically. It is for the mental side. This is for people who are adults. This is for people who are real people who have real problems. And I know that sounds odd, but this is for people who have tough jobs and families that they love and things that they can do that would actually stay in their lives. Now, I don't care what you're doing as long as you stick to it. That's the only way to succeed. But in this case, being able to live your life, actually live it, go out and spend time with people that you love, go out and, when you need to, following an 80-20 rule as far as for health and wellness is probably the best thing I've ever done. And it's such a common thing. Like, I don't own this. This is just something that I practice. So no matter what it is that you're doing, as long as you practice it in an 80-20 fashion, I think that it could benefit you so greatly. Like I was saying, as far as the training aspect, that's the easy part for most people. But the sleep and the eating and the practicing of this balance seems to be the hardest part for people. And I think it's because we've been fed a line of just crap. You got to be all or nothing. You got to be 100%. You hear a lot about 100%. And I like that message too. I understand there's times where you're going to find yourself more dedicated or disciplined than others, but that's usually because there's something going on, like there's an event or something you need to get ready for or something you need to prep for. But I'm talking about lifestyle, as far as a lifestyle of taking care of your body, your mind, your overall nutrition, your sleep. Those are the types of things that I'm talking about. So this past 30 days, I averaged about 7 hours of sleep each night. Actually, I believe it was a little less. It was like 6.8 when I added it up. So I didn't see a crazy improvement in sleep. I'm kind of pissed about that. But, I really did try. I'm going to continue to try. It's really just time. That's the biggest thing for me, is just having the time to do it. So getting to bed maybe a half hour or hour earlier. And I did do that some days, but of course those days that I'm just sitting there looking up at the ceiling. So yeah, a little less than 7 hours average, which is, I wanted to get it up to 7.5 to 8, but I'm going to work on that for these next couple of months. As far as for the trainings I got almost 4, so a little more than or almost 4. So yeah, 4 trainings a week on average, for that, which was great and the easiest part for me. And then as far as the nutrition, I tracked so I tracked 24 days. 24 days out of the 30. So those other 6 days, I will admit that I did track my protein. I just kind of, would get close to it, and then I would eat something that I knew had the right amount of protein, just to make sure I had the right amount of protein. And then most of those 6 days, we had New Year's, you had New Year's Eve, which
New Year's Eve, we kind of went a little off the rails, but then New Year's Day, not so much. Then you had Christmas Eve and Christmas, which is very big with my family, so I got to do that. And then I had a couple of days where I went out on a date, a nice little date night. Had some sushi, had gone out for some drinks with my friends. So it's like you need to do those things, in my opinion. I think you do. And, so I did not track those days. So overall, a great success. My weight was 197 when I started. And then just now when I weighed myself in, I was around 193. So I lost a little bit of weight, but it wasn't the thing I was trying to do. It was just something that kind of just happened. I must have been eating a little bit less. So even without tracking those 6 days, I still lost weight because I just ate a little bit less. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't do that on purpose. I just kind of stuck to my macros. I just maybe so happened to undereat on those other days. So with this being said, it's important to know why you're doing these things. You're doing these things to take care of your mind. You're doing these things to take care of your body. You're doing these things to kind of help keep you accountable. That's the big one. Now, tough times are going to come your way. But if you are disciplined enough to stick to something like this, those tough times seem to not be as tough because you're able to kind of look at yourself and go, hey, I have a plan. And that's what's helped me. So hopefully those things will help you, because if there's anything that doing all this has taught me, it's having a plan is always the best idea, the best thing to do, because you'll follow it. I mean, that's the whole point of following a plan. But if I told you you can follow your plan 80% of the time and still get to your goals, still see strength gains, still see mental gains, still see a physical change in your body, wouldn't you want to do that? So then that way it doesn't absorb your entire life. Wouldn't you want to do that so you can enjoy spending time with your friends and family, cut loose every once in a while? It's a nice mental break without any consequence. Now, with this being said, I also know, I need you all to know, most of the time this is what I'm doing. 80% of the time this is what I'm doing. And I've chosen to do this as a career. And I thoroughly enjoy, I really do enjoy myself, and I enjoy training. I enjoy a lot of it. But all the challenges that happen with that and the tough times I was able to get kind of over because I know they are temporary. So I know I'm very happy about these past 30 days, and I really hope that it helped some of you. And I do realize the tough time that we had. It was the end of 2020. It was the month of December, which is very, very tough to do for most of you. But even more than that, if you can do this once, a couple of months, you can do it a couple of years. You could do it all your life and really focus on your body, your mind. So, listen, I hope these past 30 days helped. Thank you all for your support. And I think we'll end it on that. The 80-20 rule is something to implement for your entire life, not something that you just want to kind of pick up and stop, pick up and stop, pick up and stop. That's why we have that 20%, so you don't have to pick up and stop. You can cut loose every once in a while, and you can eliminate, hopefully, the guilt that you feel just naturally of doing it, so you know that you are what you do most of the time, not some of the time. So I hope that helps, and I am out of here.
I needed that. I needed that so much. You have no idea.